What's up? This T-Shirt Kings 247.com. I recently researched all the other internet sites that sell shirts like we do. And by far, we are the cheapest. With us, you order 20 shirts, you get 60% off. You order 50 shirts, you get 65% off. It's hard for me to properly articulate the deal you're getting because it's so damn. T-Shirt Kings 247.com, 937-603-4494. Whatever you need, we bring it right to your door. Yes, sir, man. What's up, everybody, man? Welcome to For Shits and Giggle Podcast. I am Ahava, or you can call me Ahava, or you can call me Ahava. You call me Ahava. Now, I'm Ahava Elion, okay? And I got my cousin in the building. His name is Remy G. And I got my brother in the building. And his name is T.A. and he don't play. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I see we starting off Hollywood tonight. You got the sunglasses on and everything. So this is about to be classic.
Well, I think that it's customary to wear glasses when one is in a state of mourning. And ever since we lost Charlie Kirk, I have been in a state of mourning. I'll just play. I would take that
For shits and giggles.
Way too soon.
Nah, don't. I don't. That was very like insensitive, though. Honestly, for real. I want to take that back. I want to take that back.
You can't put two.
I want to redeem myself as more of a clean cut professional person that wouldn't say anything like that. Okay, but when we think about it, like the education of Charlie Kirk.
Don't do it.
All right. So basically what we're saying tonight is you're changing personalities with whatever glasses you wear for the night. Is that what we're doing? We change the glasses and personality?
You got that right, my brother. This is more my Malcolm X days here, my brother.
Well, man, let's welcome everybody to the For Shits and Giggles
everybody
podcast.
That's in here right now. Hold on, my bad. But listen, everybody that's in here, I promise, man, it is so important for you to hit that like button for us. Because when you do that, it pumps us out into the algorithm of YouTube in order for more people to come and join. So please, you guys, if you're watching, hit that like button, subscribe button, and make sure that you comment throughout the whole course of the show. But on some real, I'm Ahava Elion. Got my cousin Remy G in the building. Got my brother T.A. in the building. We're going to be breaking down week 2 of the NFL. Joe Burrow got injured. And anytime a quarterback goes down, you do need another one to come in and take his place. So I personally say that the Browns should release Sheduer, let him go over there and play with the Bengals. But I'm not going to go too far on that. And then even outside of the NFL and the sports world, I did bring up Charlie Kirk, and then I did have an interesting question that I wanted to ask TA and I wanted to ask Remy G about if they was in a certain situation, what would they do? And I want the whole chat to please chime in and tell me what you think about this, because you know we'll start right there and then migrate to sports because we right here right now. So today, the person who is accused of shooting Charlie Kirk went to court. All right. And he's pleading not guilty. He's not cooperating with the officials in the investigation whatsoever. All right. But the way that he was apprehended was his father pretty much brought him in. His father brought him in. So I want the chat to tell me, I want Bone to tell me, and I want Remy G to tell me. If you had a family member, a son, a daughter, a niece, nephew, anybody like right there close to you, or even a parent, would you turn them in if you felt like law enforcement was looking for them for something serious? Or would you help hide them? Is it reasonable to hide somebody that you love and care about? Remy G, what you got?
Yeah, I think it's definitely reasonable to hire somebody, you know what I'm saying, depending on with the situation. I mean, it goes on all the time. Nobody wants to see their loved one incarcerated or locked up. But then you also have seen people that if somebody has done something heinous, that you would definitely turn them in and give them let the authorities know where they're at. So I mean, I guess it kind of depends on the situation. As far as this Charlie Kirk situation is going, I mean, I'm trying to figure out how a father turns a kid in, but then because it was seeming like it was a clear cut thing that he was guilty, then that his father turned him in, but now he's pleading not guilty and saying that he didn't do it, and then they saying he's not cooperating, and now is non-cooperation meaning that he's just not saying that he's guilty, or what is it that he's doing that he's not non-cooperative with the case? Because if he's not guilty and he don't have any information on it and he didn't do it, then he wouldn't have anything to talk to him about. So, I mean, me personally, I guess it would depend on the situation on if I'm gonna turn him in or not. But this one is a little confusing, and I wonder, is he really truly the shooter, or was this somebody that they just was trying to use to set up as a propaganda and employee of what's going on?
Is that my cue to chime in?
Yeah, it's on you.
No, man. I think that at the end of the day, until all the details come out, I don't know, man. But as far as me, do I think that there's a situation out there where you would what you I someone that you has committed a crime? Probably, but I don't think it necessarily applies to Charlie Kirk's situation, to tell you the truth. I think that this is I don't know. I think there's way too many details out there that have yet to be uncovered or clarified as to what happened.
And I mean, this as more and more, because I watched some of Charlie Kirk stuff before, but I would cut him off and then pay it a whole lot of attention. And now I've been giving more, like seeing exactly the things that he was saying and the things that he stood on. And I don't really have anything to say about that. There's no mourning going on from this side. You know what I'm saying? When you hear some of the things he said about the assassinations of Martin Luther King and things like that he had no remorse for. So why should we have any remorse for him? I mean, so man, and then for the country, I'm disappointed in the country putting the flag, the half staff, like he was some type of hero or martyr. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that is, and he pure, and he gave a lot of pure nothing but pure hate in a lot of the rhetoric that he gave. So I don't understand that one. I don't understand that one at all.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me when I think about it all. To turn in your son for something that he's saying that he didn't do is weird. And if you collect the money that they was offering, because I heard that it was some type of award that was reward that was being offered, 100,000, maybe $1 million. And then for you to collect the money, I mean, I feel like that's odd, not unless you're giving it to his defense somehow. So I don't know, man. But this whole case to me seems very sketchy. I don't know if y'all seen the video, but he jumped off the roof. He did not have no gun when he jumped off the roof. How you gonna jump off a roof with a gun in your pants? Like, to me, that was like wild for them to say
It with
that.
no handgun either.
Huh?
And it wasn't a handgun. So how you
It was
jumping
a
off
rifle.
the roof?
It was a
Exactly.
rifle. It was a rifle, and like you have to break it down. And then I don't know if we can look it up or if anybody in the comments can look this up, man, about how long does it take to disassemble a rifle, break it down, pack it up, and get out of there. Because the videos that I've been seeing, like as soon as the shots rang out, they got like this surveillance view of him. He takes off when people are still ducking. So there wasn't time really to like break it down, but I don't know. It seems very odd, man. You know, it seems
I
very
think
odd.
that just speaks to like for me, I think that just speaks to the fact that a lot of the details we don't know, and a lot of the thing, like I don't know how to disassemble a rifle and all that good stuff. So I don't know
Right.
I don't know how that plays, what happened, and until you have those details, it's still going to be whether or not you believe what it is that they tell you.
Right.
So
Right.
it's it's just a matter of whether or not you are in alignment, or you what they say. So you don't
But
know. How about
but to,
that? You just don't
but to
know.
go to your original question, Shiny Mac had a great response in there that he said that you tell if their family member's name is TA.
I mean, it's a snitch in every family. You know what I mean? Some people more comfortable with it than others.
I mean, he could have thought he was saving his son's life. I mean, thinking that, man, I mean, there probably is a lot of angry people out there that if they would have seen him or something, hell, they might have tried to kill him. So his dad might have thought that he was trying to get him off the street.
How did they know it was him though? I mean, it was not nothing that it was clear cut to show that it was him anyway. So, I mean, it's a lot of for me. I find it ironic that it ended up being a white guy who was doing it because white men were looking for revenge and to who they were looking to revenge on. I don't know, but definitely made it where we had to be aware to be very aware of our surroundings and what was going on before we start to be in a war that we didn't start and wasn't ready and didn't have anything to do with. So I definitely think we we can't, if he did do it, if he didn't, I mean, I don't know. The police don't do no type of police work nowadays anyway. They don't do any investigating. All they do is wait for somebody to tell on somebody. They wait for somebody to give them all the information. So I think we talked enough about Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, I mean, it would be. I wonder what the climate would have been if there would have actually been a black shooter.
All
If
out
there,
war. All out war it would have been.
so you think that somebody would have literally came to a black community and just start open firing on random black people?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. You don't?
I don't know. Put it in the comments, y'all. Put it in the comments. Do y'all think that if they would have found out that the shooter of Charlie Kirk was a black man, like some militant black man, do you think that they would have reacted with violence on black people in general? Put it in the comments.
Yes.
Chad
Yes.
says yes. Ryan,
Did you see the day after HBCUs was getting all type of terroristic threats and stuff like that and had to be put on lockdown? That's an absolute yes.
for them to actually do it. And see, I think that that's part of the frustration with like Democrats and Republicans is I think that they really want to fight each other, but I don't know how that they would actually go to war because you can't tell who's who. I mean, you would almost need to tell them to put uniforms on so they would know who they're fighting against. Because how would that look? Like, how would a liberal versus conservative civil war look? Like,
You're not going to have one. What they were looking for was a race war. That's something completely different. It's not going to be Democrats against Republicans. Whiteness has no political party. Understand that, and that's definitely true. Whiteness has no political party at all.
Shalise J says yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's crazy. I don't know. All right. Well, what's up with week 2 of the NFL?
We had a recap, so we can go back over the games for this weekend and break down the score. So I guess Havo's going to keep on his glasses, so we don't know when he tried. But I have it all written down. So if you try to go back on,
Oh,
on
you
what you
just got
said
it
on which
written
game,
down. You wrote it
oh,
down.
I have it right here in front of me. So I already broke it down for how many
Oh
wins
my
and how many
God.
losses each of us had. So,
Did you already figure it out? You got
oh yeah, I got it all figured out. So I got it all figured out. So we're just waiting to see what your response is with the breakdown.
I don't believe your I don't believe your paper. I don't believe that shit. I'll tell you right now.
How well do you think you did?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I think I did average. I'll say average. And how many games is it? 8 games? 8
No,
games?
it
Or
would have
not?
been 16 games.
It's 16. Damn, it's 32 teams in the NFL.
Okay.
Okay, 16
You really need
games.
help if you're starting from the point that where you thought it was only 8 games on Sunday. You're bad.
I don't know, man. Okay, so out of 16 games, I say
What
I
is your
probably
win percentage?
I
What do you
went like
think your
I
win
say I probably
percentage
went
is?
7-9. I say I went about like 7-9. That's what I
So we're gonna see here. We're gonna see
That's
here.
below
So we
average.
start.
Yeah, this will be very interesting. What about you? How do you think you did?
I think
How
I
did
had
you
the
do?
best record. I think I had the best record of all. Clearly.
You just
Okay.
you just beat me in fantasy too.
So
Pop me.
we start off with Thursday night game. So which we was watching, and we talked about who would win that game, and it was between the Commanders and the Packers, and the Packers won that game. So who remembers their pick? I'll say it for you before we even get started on anything.
I picked the Commanders.
Oh, okay, there it is. So that was and the Packers won that one. Bone and myself both picked the Packers. So that started the week off. Now we move to the Sunday 1 o'clock game. So the first game we have here is the Giants versus the Cowboys.
Oh, hell no. Hold on. Wait a minute. Is the Packers the game that we was watching Thursday?
Yes.
I did not say hell no. No, I didn't. I said that they could come back and win. I did not say that they see this is bullshit already. I did not say that team was no.
Hey, the funny thing is that we had this conversation and said that exact same thing that you were gonna say that come Tuesday.
I said they can win. I clarified that and said
I said
man. No, I did not. I said that they was gonna come back in that 2-minute drive, bro. They could, but no, I did not pick the Packers. Now come on. I mean, I did.
You did not pick the Packers. You're absolutely
right.
I
didn't pick the Redskins. No, then now y'all cheat.
Yeah, you didn't pick the Redskins either because that's no such a team anymore.
The Redskins, man. Listen, I'm a big Commanders fan, okay? Like I'm Art Monk in the Fun Bunch and John Riggins, bro. You feel me?
That's why you picked it.
Back there back in that day. No.
So let's move on.
Please don't cheat me out of one little game. So okay, go ahead.
You lost that game, bro. It's over. You lost.
No, I
then we had the Giants and the Cowboys, and we all picked the Cowboys. Then we had the Seahawks.
Can we talk about that game real quick before we
go ahead? Yeah, go ahead.
Bro, that was one of the most thrilling games of a long time. Did you see the bomb that Russell Wilson threw? Did y'all see that?
Yeah, we saw the game.
Watch football, bro.
No, we saw the game. I just what are you wanting us to say about that play?
You said, man, please put it in the comments. Hold on, wait a minute. So y'all mean to tell me what will excite you about football if that didn't? I don't understand. You didn't watch the end of the Dallas and the Giants game?
It was a good play, but what do you?
We're in week 2, and you're acting like this was a captivating. That wasn't. I mean, it wasn't that. I mean,
what would have been? What would have been? I want to know what would have been exciting or interesting to y'all if that wasn't. We had two lead changes right at the end of the game. Then the Dallas kicker kicked like a.
It was a
68, 69-yard field goal.
It was a good game. I mean, you said
it was a good game.
We agree with that. It was a good game. We enjoyed watching the game, but what you said that play like we were supposed to get excited because he threw a good ball. I mean,
That was sweet. I
a
don't
few
know.
more good balls, they might have won the game. But it was a very,
Hey,
very good ending to
New
the
York
game.
did. They put on a better showing than
Than
what
what we
I
thought, man.
expected them to do.
Yeah,
They
I
played
thought it was a
well.
good game.
Okay.
I thought it
All
was a
right.
good game.
Okay.
Then
What's
we
next? Thank you.
we had
Thank you. Man, let me get Brian in here, bro. He's being real. Brian, well, I'm gonna send you the link.
then we had the Steelers and the Seahawks, and we all picked the Steelers, and we all lost that game. You know what I'm saying? We all lost that game for whatever
I at
reason
least
that we
did
picked.
bring up. I at least did bring up Ricky White the third. So
You
So you
did,
should get a point, huh? You really, actually,
basically, that's what I'm
you
but
saying.
you said, you
That's
picked the
exactly what
Steelers
I'm
because of
saying.
Tay Boogie, and you said you gonna pick the Steelers every week
I
because of Tay
did. I
Boogie was
did.
what you said.
I'm gonna always pick the Steelers,
Okay. Well,
except for if they play against. I mean, they know if they play against one of my teams now, Buffalo.
now the next game we had the Rams and the Titans. Bone picked the Rams. Me and Cuz picked the Titans. So Bone won that one. Y'all want to talk about that game, or y'all anything
no,
y'all
we
want to
just
say
trying
about
to see
Ken
who
Ward?
got the most wins, man. That's all.
Okay. Well,
I like the fact. I did like the fact that Cam Ward threw across his body and made a completion.
that was a nice. That was a definitely a good pass. That was a very good play on that one. Then the next game we had the Bills and the Jets. Y'all both picked the Bills. I picked the Jets. Lost that game. Then we had the Dolphins and the Patriots. We all picked the Dolphins. We all lost that game. Then we had the Saints and the 49ers. We all picked the Saints. We all lost that game. Then we had the Bengals and the Jaguars. We all picked the Bengals. We all won that game.
Can we talk
Then we
about
had,
that one?
yeah, let's go ahead. Let's talk about that one. That was a I thought that was a
that an
very
exciting
suspect call
game?
on. I thought it was a very suspect call on Travis Hunter at the end of the game. I thought that was a very suspect pass interference call.
On Travis.
Yes.
Yeah, that. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all, man.
Did you see
Bone,
that
what's
play?
your take on that play as a DB?
Bang bang, man. I'm always siding on the DB for real, but in the NFL, you give them a chance to make a call, they're gonna make it. That's just
Terrell in the building.
I can say this: I seen worse pass interferences not called throughout this weekend. Also, I can definitely say that I saw some that was not called.
I think if he get a reputation and start, he start balling out later on in the season, he may get the benefit of the doubt on a call like that. But right now, on a call like that, the refs are going to throw the flag. In that situation on him, they're going to throw the flag.
I'm glad you said that because that's something that I always want to talk about with officiating. Because I think that is that's true.
Not just
that's true
because Travis Hunter. I'm just saying because he's a rookie.
Exactly.
And he don't have a.
That's why I'm glad you said that, because I think that's bull. Because you see that in basketball also. A foul is a foul. A penalty is a penalty. It don't matter what year you in, who you are. If it's a penalty, it's a penalty. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get that where this person gets that call, this person don't get that call. So to me, that's flat out admitting that there's cheating that goes on in sports. And I definitely do not think that was a pass interference call.
Ryan Alexander said that's a penalty. He said
he got to be a Bengals fan. He got to be.
And then here we go. Then
Shawnee
Mack said it's definitely PI.
And they would not have said that if that would have against them. But what y'all think going forward as far as with Joe Burrow getting hurt?
He got a tag on him now. He injury prone. I think that's the biggest takeaway from the year. He had significant injuries that put him on the bench. and eventually you got to call a spade a spade.
I don't know, man. I think that they should figure out a way to get Sheduer to the Bengals.
Okay.
Let
That good topic segue. Now we go to the Browns and the Ravens game, which we all picked the Ravens and we all won that game. So moving to
the Browns ain't going. The Browns is basically just trying to ruin somebody's life, and I don't get it. But I guess that's another day.
And the Browns are trying to ruin. You mean just the Browns are trying to ruin Sheduer's life, or just anyone on their team?
I agree. The Browns are trying to ruin everybody on their team. I don't think the Browns try to consistently put out any type of good product to win. So, but I don't think the Browns. Man. I don't think the Browns are worth keep having conversation about them being a badly run organization. So then, but this was what was y'all take on the Lions in the Bears game, which y'all both picked the Lions to win, because the Lions put up an awful lot of points in that game.
Put up 50.
Yeah, I knew that the Lions would have a bounce back game. I mean, I think the Lions are really good. And
did you expect 50?
No,
they got weapons, man. The Lions are an explosive team. That last year they was doing similar stuff. Like they make these games a track meet, and their coach is aggressive. He play call aggressive, so I'm not surprised, man. I'm a pick with the Lions a lot this year. A pick with Buffalo a lot this year. Those are the teams that I really. Who the Lions got?
The Ravens.
We'll save that for Thursday.
Game. That's a good game. I'll probably go Ravens. I'll probably go Ravens. I like.
All that for not.
I said we'll save that one for Thursday show when we do the rest of the predictions.
Yeah, I still want to think about it though. You know, I mean,
you got 2 days. So now we're moving on to the 4 or 5 games. We had the first game was the Broncos and the Colts, and me and Cuz picked the Colts. Bone, you picked the Broncos. Then the next game was the Colts.
The Colts won that game.
And then the next game was the Panthers versus the Cardinals. We all picked the Cardinals, so we don't have too much to talk about that. So then here go a big game that you both of y'all picked the Eagles. I picked the Chiefs. What's y'all take on Patrick Mahomes and this start that they have into this 0-2 season?
I mean, Travis Kelce, if he would have caught the ball, then it would have been a different story. I like the Chiefs. I like them to. I wish they could have won a Super Bowl last year and got a 3-peat, but I don't know, man. It just seems like every year Pat Mahomes' weapons just keep getting injured, and it's very hard for him to be as great as he can if he don't got his tools at his disposal. So losing Worthy, hopefully he comes back this week, and then Rashee Rice is suspended for 6 games. So after this week, he'll have 3 more games. Then I'll see a real Kansas City Chief team. But right now, the running game ain't looking that well. And finally, Pat, just at the end of the game, he just said, man, I'm going to throw some Hail Marys and heave holes. And he caught it, and the kid Thornton actually caught one, man. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see no vertical threat. They need to go get Tyreek Hill back. Or maybe when their kids come back, then they'll be able to move the ball. But this don't look like Kansas City is controlling anything.
So I'm going to ask a question on that, Bone. He made a comment about Travis Kelce dropping the pass. So I want to get your take on this, because had that been a black receiver that's involved with a pop star and getting all this attention, this and that, would you say that Travis Kelce is distracted?
No. If you saw that game, I don't think it came down to a Travis Kelce thing. When it's Kansas City, if you're asking about the game, Kansas City has a problem with their offensive front. I think they got pushed around. They got pushed around against the Chargers as well. And as long as their offensive line isn't doing the job when they lost to Tampa Bay, it was the same thing. And same thing with any good quarterback. If you can get pressure up in front of them, then it's going to make things difficult. Shawnee Mack's on the line. I asked about when he get pressure. He was sorry. He was terrible.
Wow, that's a shot taken right there. I don't think Shawnee Mack deserves that.
I mean, at the end of the day, with Kansas City, I mean, the best quarterbacks in the world. If you're not able to protect them, their productivity and their ability to make plays is significantly reduced. And I think that's what you see with Kansas City. You don't have now. Granted, he don't have those weapons, but right now they can't run the ball and they can't pass. So it makes it somewhat difficult when you playing against a team like Philly, who has one of the best offensive lines in football, and they have one of the best defensive lines in football. So it just makes it very, very hard. Now, when they go back and play against a team that doesn't have that kind of talent up front, it's going to look like a different Kansas City Chiefs team altogether, including Kelsey, including Patrick Mahomes. It's only a few teams that can make them look like that, but it's those teams that have those dominant fronts. It's not.
I mean, but even with all that being said, though, they was down by what, a touchdown, and then he hit him with the ball in his hands in the end zone, bounced off of his hands and ricocheted for an interception. So the point is to say, I mean, it did though. The ball did bounce off of Kelsey's hands.
Shawnee Mack has responded back with a shot fired back. At least I made first team all city. Shots are being fired back. And he said, be careful with those shots. So
I like that.
But to the original question, because I'm really trying to go somewhere with this, man, because you see other players who get involved in relationships, especially with somebody in the pop star world or something like that, and especially if it's a black player, there's going to be talked about when they drop a pass or this and that. It's going to be a distraction and all this and that, and more has been talked about. And we've heard a lot about Travis Kelce's relationship as more than his play on the field.
Since he started dating her, for real. He ain't been the same.
You believe
he hasn't been the force. I definitely
believe that's a distraction.
Absolutely, and a team distraction as well.
So because when they won the Super Bowl while he was dating her, it wasn't a distraction.
It was, but they cheated. They cheated Philadelphia in that Super Bowl. That's a fact. That's a fact. They cheated Philadelphia in that Super Bowl, and Taylor Swift they forced to win.
This is new information. Where exactly did they cheat? Where exactly did they cheat them?
They called a penalty and gave them the ball.
Oh, you're talking about the pass?
Like a huge fourth down or something.
The holding call?
Yes. But there was also something else like during that play that the offense had done and the defense had done. They should have canceled each other out. But I mean, look, Kansas City Chiefs is a great team, but they're not the same great team that they was when Tyreek Hill was there. It's not.
You're going back and forth though, bro. You just said you wanted them to win a three-peat. Now you're saying they cheated. I don't know where we're going to place you.
I wanted them to win. Look, Reem asked, was this a distraction? Is Taylor Swift a distraction?
Right.
And the answer to me is yes. I don't think Kelsey has played as good since he's been with her. I think that more eyes are on him. The pressure to perform is on him. And no matter what anybody says, that can weigh on people catching balls, doing this, doing that. And I think she's a distraction. Yes, absolutely. She's a distraction for Kelsey.
So it's only a distraction for Travis Kelce then, right? Not for the team.
I think for the team, it can be a bit of a distraction. I mean, John Morant's a distraction, so he's a distraction.
So
if it's distraction, it's a headline in the news and you got to answer questions about it, it's a distraction away from the game.
Why do you feel that way, bro?
I feel like that because that's the narrative that gets said. So I'm going along. I personally am not a big time athlete. So I don't know what it means to focus into a game and dial in to the point where you can have 20,000 fans going crazy and you still catch a ball, where you're not worried about all of these people, this big, huge moment, and it's all on you. Man, this reminds me of the Tennessee game. So I picked Tennessee to win, and they ended up losing. They had a kid kicker that he just looked so nervous, bro. Like, if you could look at nervousness, I don't know if y'all seen it or not.
Yeah, I saw
But the kid, they kept showing him warm up before it was time to go. I think they might have even iced him a little bit to freeze him out. Man, that kid went out there and missed the. I mean, that was a bad miss. And so it just looked like, he wasn't ready for the moment, is the point. So when you're asking me, would I be distracted by the crowd, by my girl, by stuff I got going on at home? Yeah, I would. But for people who I rate as athletes, I think part of me rating them and ranking them is how well they perform in these more pressured situations.
I think from the chat
I
here,
don't
Will
that can happen.
I think Will kind of summed it up best about Kelsey. He said Kelsey can't get separation from the DBs nor from his girl. So maybe that's the reason why he couldn't catch the ball. So moving on to the next game for the Sunday night game was the Falcons and the Vikings, and y'all both did not like my reason for why picking the Falcons, which was because I said their uniforms look better than the Vikings, and the Falcons won that game along with a black quarterback. So, so now to the last two Monday night games, we had the Buccaneers and the Texans, which ended up coming down to being a close game. The Buccaneers pulled that one out, and the Texans had their opportunities, but didn't take advantage of it. Then they got the Chargers and the Raiders, and the Chargers won that game. And Geno Smith did not look good at all, and did not play a very, very, very good game that game. But hopefully he'll bounce back next game and have a better game. So to add, that's all of the games for week 2, and the score was Cubs 9-7 for the week. Bone was 11-5 for the week, and I was 7-9 for the week.
Without saying anything,
Well,
I was sure that it was easy. That was easy money.
And I will say this, I do like that, man. I like that because it shows that our experts on this show know what they're talking about. Bone is our football resident. He is a football player. So for him to pick the get the most right, I think that just shows that, Reem, you had the
I
right
would have got the
vision
most
when
right
you
if
thought
we was
about
picking
getting Bone
pickleball.
to talk about football.
Man, please do not give him that type of credit, because he's going to be out of control out here thinking he came up with something.
Win.
I would have got the most right if we was picking tennis, pickleball, or NASCAR.
Please do not mention tennis, because you might have been one of the worst tennis players I've ever seen in life.
You would get right if you had to pick a T-shirt.
So
what?
Now, my next question is college football.
I forced it.
Because it brought up about Tennessee, which was a good game. Well, what's y'all take on?
Great game.
Yeah. So what's y'all take on UCLA and the firing of Deshaun Foster, and then also the firing of Virginia Tech's coach? Because me personally, I don't like, in college football or in college sports period, I don't like firing coaches in the middle of a season. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that hinders a lot of things. You know, you got certain kids that pick those schools, and because of those coaches, you should at least let the coach the season out, make a change at the end of the season. You don't do it any good by trying to bring in an interim coach to finish out the rest of the season. I mean, UCLA has been losing this year. So what do you think? A coaching change is going to make a difference, that big of a difference, where they're going to start winning games? And I think that's unfair to all the parties involved. But, you know, you have boosters and stuff like that are making these decisions, because when it comes down to college, it is about wins and losses. But just wanted to get y'all take on what y'all feel on with that happening in the middle of the season. Well, at the very beginning of the season, after 3 games.
Are these black coaches that got fired?
One of them was.
No,
You need help, man. How would that change your answer
know, right?
if it was
I
a black
wanted to
coach
know.
versus a white coach?
So, in Remy's eyes, it's unfair that the black coach got fired. but
No, I don't think it's fair to fire any. I don't think, which he probably will. He probably will be first to land in line to have another assistant job somewhere, or somebody else even give him a head coaching job before the black coach will get that opportunity. But I don't think it's fair to fire any coach in college because you're dealing with the development of young men and everything to do that during the middle of the season. I feel that that's something that you could wait to the end of the season to do, and it will be better for recruitment. We're giving kids a chance to enter the portal, everything, a new coach to come in with a new thing. Do that at the end of the season. To do it right now after 3 games, I don't see where that benefits anybody.
I think if you had, unfortunately, you know what the expectation and what the protocols are now. When you got these coaches, typically you're going to get 2 to 3 years to have either success or start showing some semblance that you get in the program turned around. If not, if you don't have some sort of cachet or they view you as a solution, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be on the chopping blocks, especially if you're having in the way that UCLA was, and they had expectations going in with the new quarterback that came from Tennessee that was just in the college football playoff a year ago. So I get it. I know it's unfortunate that those are the sort of the situations that college coaches are put under nowadays, but that's just the real 2 to 3 years. If you don't have things turned around, it's going to be a problem. That's just the reality. And now that you have NIL, it is very difficult to justify keeping coaches longer than necessary because you have kids that now have a louder and more significant voice as to who's going to be coaching them. So,
but do you make that change, and do you actually think you can go through the process of making a quality change and something beneficial during the middle of the season?
I don't know. I think to a certain degree, these are uncharted waters when you're talking about letting coaches go this early. But I do think that 2 to 3 years, that's sort of, some people think that I may not agree with it, but I can understand them saying they're getting out in front of something so that they can start their head coaching search ahead of other teams that's going to ultimately have to fire coaches as well. So I get it.
You can do that without actually firing the coach in the middle of the season and having to pay him out $6 million to go home and sit.
For these big schools, that $6 million buyout or whatever it is that they have to buy these coaches out at, whatever that rate is, that's water under the bridge. They don't necessarily even look at that like that's a big deal because you see it happen so much.
I get that, but in terms, like I said, even being an athlete, do you think that's beneficial? Do you think another coach is going to walk in right now? First of all, you're not going to hire anybody off the street to come in now. So because they're going to want to come in with their own staff and all that type of stuff. So that means you're going to have to promote a coordinator or somebody else up to being a coach. That coordinator was also coaching when they were losing these games. Matter of fact, right. If it was an offensive coordinator, he was calling offensive plays. If it was a defensive coordinator, he was calling defensive plays. So how does that? Yes. So how does that change in the middle of the season? Do you think that you move one of them up, that something is going to change?
But if they paid them money, if they paid them money still and they fired them, it's okay. It's okay.
They gotta buy them out. Yeah, that's no. That's not even a question.
All in all, it's okay. They gave them the money. They said, "Look, I don't like this. This is bad. You hear?" And when got
I think
else,
when you reach that point, I think when those ADs and those individuals that are making those decisions at the college level,
and they might have told him too. They might have told him at the beginning of the year. They might have said, "Listen, bro, You got to go out there and win. If you don't, we're gonna make a coaching change. And he could have said, "Let's go." Like he thought he could do it.
And
Said,
I believe all that to say that I'm not arguing none of that. What I am strictly talking about is it good for the kids?
Reem was saying you don't let them go in the middle of the year, but I think my point is that when you let them go in the middle of the year, they're saying we're punting on this season, and we're okay with that. Yeah, we may have an interim head coach, which may be the OC or the DC for the remainder of the year, but we're cool with that. And whatever, if you're able to build some momentum, rally the troops, and get a few wins out of the deal, that's cool. But they're like, we need to get this sort of rebuild process going earlier rather than later. And how's that happen all the time?
I get that, but how's it a rebuild process if I put a OC or DC in to be the interim coach, knowing that at the end of this season another coach is going to come in, and best believe all these coaches that are coming in the same way that Dion came in and saying, I got my own luggage, I'm bringing this, and I'm moving players out and all this type of stuff. So how is that beneficial to do that in the start of the year and starting a rebuild process when the rebuild ain't going to start until the offseason anyway?
No, I'm not saying it's necessarily beneficial. I'm saying that in a lot of executives, or not executives, ADs, and the people that make those decisions, in their minds, they're getting ahead of it because to be the first individual to get the guy that they want, whoever that may be. If you wait, you may not be the to court and sort of bring in the talent that you want in terms of coaching. And if you don't get that person because you wait, then you might be behind the 8 ball. And it's all about, at this time, now it's the Wild Wild West. You got to get people in.
He said money or not. Look, I was agreeing with Will so much then. He curved on me. It was like, but yeah, they still don't want to be fired. But I think nobody does want to be fired, but
it don't matter if you want to be fired or not.
You don't think they can find a coach that's better than the coach that they got in the middle of the season?
No, that's too hard. So now, what if you got a different? If you got a different style of play, you run a different style system. That is too hard. But speaking on that now, like, because Virginia Tech was one of the schools that let their coach go. Okay, it was UCLA and Virginia Tech. Do y'all think that Mike Vick will be in consideration for this job with now that he's coaching and being at Norfolk State? Do you think Virginia Tech will look at him, or do you think they're going to look at Frank Beamer's son?
I think they would look at Frank Beamer's son over Mike
I
Vick.
knew you was going to say that, bro.
Because it's the truth. You want to know why?
Yeah, I already know why. To me, I know why. The real why.
It's not because he's white. It's because he is in the SEC. He's coaching in the SEC, whereas Mike Vick is coaching at a HBCU.
What about playing in the games? What about Mike Vick played in the games? He's coaching in the SEC, but Mike Vick played in the games. He's a quarterback. He's been playing football his whole life. Why doesn't that experience count for anything towards coaching? As though this Beamer's son knows more about the game than Mike Vick, who's been coaching in the SEC.
Let me ask you to answer your own question. Who would you take? Bill Belichick, who's never played an NFL game, or Mike Vick, or anyone for that matter? It's different.
That's different, though, Bone. That's different.
What's different?
Bill Belichick is a proven hall. That's the best coach in NFL history, bro.
Let's say Andy Reid.
But we're not talking about Andy Reid. We're talking about his
coaching experience. It's proven that we should take Andy Reid. I'm not saying you have to be. All I'm saying is my pushback against you saying this guy's been coaching in the SEC is to say, well, okay, so what? Michael Vick been playing in the game in the NFL. That's my pushback. So, okay, if you're saying he a better coach, then he just straight out, Okay, that's all
But
right.
he
That's
has
your
more
argument, but don't say it's because he's got experience in some football experience that
he
Michael Vick
does have
ain't got.
he has more coaching experience than Mike Vick. This is Mike Vick's first year, and what you're saying is you would be more comfortable turning over this multi-million-dollar machine to a 1-year coach than you would
That's
that
Mike
some.
Vick.
Okay, but you're saying you're more comfortable turning that over to Mike Vick than you would be someone that's
Because you
not
surround
only
Mike Vick, you surround Mike Vick with assistant coaches that will make up for his shortcomings, and you let Mike
I'm not
Vick bring his
I'm just
creativity to the team. Why
but
can't
you
you do
just
that?
said but you
What?
just said who would you take? Frank
I would
Beamer,
take Mike Vick
son,
to build my
or
program.
Mike Vick? And
Mike Vick.
if
I'll take
So,
Mike Vick.
if I
so
know,
Bone, do you
and
think
I'm just
Deshaun
saying, I don't
Foster?
think that that's the best, huh?
Do you think Deshaun Foster hurt Mike Vick case by what just happened with him? Because he's an ex NFL player that had played the game and everything, and then UCLA letting him go. And I also think that's just a bad look because as a coach, would you want to go to a school that fires a coach after 3 games? Would you want to go coaching in that type of organization that works in that manner?
And when you realize what the how rare those opportunities are, man, you gonna jump at them, man. That's dope, man. The coach at that level, it's very rare that you're going to have someone that's going to say, "Oh no, I'm not going to go there because y'all fired a coach after 3 years." It just doesn't
Look
happen.
at that. And then look at that. This Quam hit the point exactly what I was trying to say. I think in the money and personality arena, Vic is the better option. And I also think football too. Like he knows football. I would think Mike Vick knows football. I don't know if he knows how to arrange it and coach it and everything, but who is Frank Beamer's son? What's his criteria? Because I need to know that before I just say Vic
He's
will be better.
he's the head coach of South Carolina right now.
And how have they been doing?
He's got that. He's sort of righted the ship. South Carolina wasn't a formidable opponent in the SEC.
Did they make the playoffs last year?
No, but he's got a quarterback that's going to be probably going to go in the first round this year. They're competitive in the SEC, whereas South Carolina wasn't in the past.
I mean,
they have been before. They have some decent
that's not
teams.
good enough to me to just say, okay, so now right off the rip, since he's been doing that, he's more qualified than Mike Vick. Now, if he was winning in the SEC and dominating or being
You're talking about coaching, bro. You're not talking about if you're talking about who's the more skilled player, Mike Vick all day, but Mike Vick hasn't done anything as a coach. So how can you really believe that Mike Vick is a better option at coach than someone that has done it at a higher level with better talent for years? You're just letting your emotions control your decision.
How long has Beamer's son been a head coach?
He's been a coach there for like 6 or 7 years, I believe.
Now, and what I will say,
I think,
just
like we said with Sheduer, I believe that he was able to get in that position.
So where does Mike Vick need to start at? According to you, where does Mike Vick need to start at? What would be an appropriate entry-level coaching position for Mike Vick? Like a high school thing? High school?
I didn't say what his entry level would be. You said, comparatively speaking, who's the better option?
I'm just asking.
I would say Frank Beamer.
Okay, he is. But all right, as a side conversation, okay, that's cool with Frank Beamer. But I'm asking you, do you think Mike Vick is capable of coaching Virginia Tech?
I think he's capable of coaching in the NFL.
Okay.
But that doesn't make him
why do you think he is?
Because I think if you gave him quarterbacks, he's got a level of expertise that most don't have. But that doesn't make him the best choice to be an NFL head coach.
Ceiling
Nor
as
does
a
it.
coach. Hey, ceiling as a coach. Who do you think has the bigger ceiling as a coach in college? Frank Beamer or Mike Vick?
It's not Frank Beamer's his son. What's his name?
His son, I can't remember his name, but I think that he's a Beamer's son right now is a better option at coach than Mike Vick because
I
surely
ceiling.
I think all the way around currently he is a than Mike Vick.
Mike Vick got the bigger ceiling.
I didn't say that.
The higher ceiling.
Shane
Did you say
Beamer.
Mike Vick got the higher ceiling?
I didn't know. I think that he all the way around is a better coach because he's seen more, experienced more, and from a coach, it is.
So why don't old coaches automatically beat young coaches in the NFL championships in the game? There's a lot of young coaches that's out there like playing great right now, bro. That's gotten a first chance at the NFL. There's some young, smart, up and coming young coaches,
but it's not their first time coaching, period. This is Mike Vick's first time coaching. You don't go in the NFL and become a head coach,
though. It's still like a level
no,
of it.
Not,
like
bro.
they just come into the NBA and they coming out coaching like the kid from Oklahoma City Thunder. Who is this kid?
Who are you talking about, bro?
Oklahoma City Thunder.
He has been coaching for years before he got a head coaching job.
I know, but he's still coaching against coaches with more NBA experience than him by a far, he's still winning. So why does you have anything to do with somebody's ceiling as a coach? I'm not talking about. I'm talking. Your ceiling isn't where you're at right now either. It's saying how high can this person go as a college coach. You telling me somebody without notoriety, somebody without this and that has more leverage than somebody with it. And I don't understand that at the same program, how that could be. Recruiting college kids, it seemed like Mike Vick would be, man, I don't know. It seemed like he would get better kids.
I think you have a litmus test with that getting better kids with. You're not going to necessarily get better kids because you have more notoriety and you have more fame. Once again, I'll say those schools that have the money to pay kids when it comes to NIL is going to trump all of that notoriety when it comes.
So you don't think Dean Smith and Krzyzewski and Nick Saban and Jim Tressel, and Lou Holtz, and all of these.
You're talking about schools that have the money to pay kids. Yes.
Hold on. No, I'm talking about before that. Before that, you don't think that those coaches with that name recognition have more of an advantage to recruit than somebody who doesn't?
You're saying the coach, just the coach off his
name? The coach with name recognition, the bigger the star, the coach, the bigger the coach is as far as stardom and notoriety. I think that helps them recruit kids. And the same thing goes through when Mike Vick come. His notoriety don't come from coaching, but the notoriety is there still to bring kids in.
I disagree with what you just said. I disagree with. I disagree with totally. You said
we wouldn't know how. Hold on, wait a minute, bro. We wouldn't even know how star power in coaching actually works. You know why? Because they don't give any black stars the opportunity to coach in any of these games. We don't know. You don't know. You're
absolutely correct.
So the point
you're absolutely correct,
and that's wrong. That's wrong. Bro, they keep us out of these.
I'm saying
any position
the people that you just used,
intellect. It's like, oh no, not qualified.
The people you just used as an example: Dean Smith at North Carolina, blue blood program; Lou Holtz, Notre Dame; Ohio State. These are blue blood programs. You're talking about what you just said. But Mike Vick
I
in
think
South Carolina,
The
I,
coach
I
made
not
think
gonna
that
sure.
I
cut it,
think.
bro.
Hey, Cuz, can you
Not
do a
gonna
favor
cut it.
and put up Terrell's last comment? Because I think that that's a key point in something that we talking about here of that too. We definitely have to start normalizing black coaches getting coaching opportunity as their counterparts. If they are bad, give a chance, and we'll never see, which is true. A lot of the black coaches don't get the opportunity, and we do need to start normalizing that and being cool with and seeing schools and some of these higher level schools and all that stuff too. Also getting these coaches because we look at some coaches, man, was the coach at Ohio State, was he a great coach or a great selection when they made him?
No,
You know what I'm saying? So why can't some of these black, especially ex players that are now into coaching get these same opportunities to coach at some of these universities that go to? Which another point that you made, Bone, about which schools got money as far as that can put into the collective to be able to pay for players. So this is what's something that I've been thinking about, and y'all tell me what your idea on this when we're talking about money and the collective is concerned. What if, because the NCAA can afford to money to do this, and if you wanted to level the playing field and make everything even, because it is starting to have some parity in there. But if you take the money situation out, how about if all athletes was paid? Because being an ex-athlete playing at the D1 level, this money that these kids are getting now is actually from these schools is ridiculous. This is not what we were talking about as far as being athletes playing in college and we weren't receiving money. We were not talking about kids trying to get millions of dollars from a school to play. So what I propose is say, how about all kids receive $75,000, and that's all you can get. So now everything is even, and you can make. So now let's say freshmen, or let's say we start off at 50. Freshmen receive 50. Sophomores receive 75. Juniors 100. Seniors 100, 105, or just everybody get a blanket thing for all 4 years of their eligibility. What would y'all think of that being a rule proposed?
I don't think that they
And
can
players
go.
can
I don't
still
think
get
now
paid
that
off
they
of their likeness out on their own.
Yes, because this is the thing that everybody keeps saying. Everybody keeps saying NIL. That's not what we're talking about here. NIL. NIL is
Right.
name, image, and likeness, meaning somebody putting money behind you to saying we want to market you. We want you to be the face to stand up and represent our brand and that type of stuff. That's what NIL is. That's completely separate. So whoever gets whatever you can get and negotiate that you get in your NIL, if it's $5 million, if McDonald's is willing to put you in commercials and give you $5 million, that's what you get because that's your name, image, and likeness. But from the NCAA, from the collective of what could come from the school, everybody got a base same level price from high major to low major.
I wonder how much a college like Ohio State, how much do they profit off of one game? From television, everything. What's their net?
Multi-millions. Anytime that you can pay
Put it in
a
the
school
chat.
like
How
Grambling,
much money does Ohio State make off of playing Michigan? With all money collected, what's their net? Would y'all
what
say
so
would
more than 10
what
million for one game?
number would change your views on your position with the amount of money that players make in their collective?
We would have to see.
are you
Honestly, I think
you
that
asking me that?
the players should get a
That's
percentage. They should get a percentage
They
of
do.
the well, I'm not saying they don't. I'm just asking. I don't know what they get, but I'm saying collectively, the players should get a percentage. Like, let's say they bring in $100 million, then okay, the players should get like 50 million, and then the other people should get their 50 million. And then the
So
players divide that 50 million up among them, however they want to do it across the board.
what I'm talking about is making it across the board. So you take out even though and I'm speaking in a in a world of everything is fair and everything this that, because that's really not going to happen, because there's still going to be people being illegal and buying stuff this and that. But what I'm speaking on is talking about for being an ex-athlete. When we were talking about we didn't have money to eat because the cafeteria was closed while we in practice and this and that, we were not talking about kids talking about, talking to their coaches, how much you gonna pay me? I need 300,000. And you get there and you not worth 300,000. You get there and you average 5 points a game, 6 points a game. And I'm saying that it can to create parity and make things even, everybody get paid the same amount of money, because college athletics should not be making people rich. And it shouldn't be nothing that your parents is trying to live off of you and all that type of stuff. And a coach shouldn't be having to sit down to negotiate how much money you worth. And then when you get in there and you don't play good, what you think? What you think? You think it should stay in the landscape of how it is, or?
To a certain degree, I do, because you know what? If they are paying these athletes, still to this day, even with the current situation set up the way that it is, everybody's not getting paid millions and millions of dollars. I mean, you look at the disparity between your top paid player and your lowest paid player on the largest D1 school. Everybody's not making billions, and I think that it's like, you know what I mean. The NIL has sort of leveled it, because you have on one end the NIL, where it's basically they have a certain amount of money that they're going to give to the athletes, but then you have that's like a third party broker that's going to help negotiate, if you want to say, deals for players. But everybody's not making millions and millions of dollars. It's only reserved for those that are the top performers and the biggest names of a program. And at the end of the day, that's a very, very small segment of the demographic. It's not everybody making that money. And if you're good enough, make it. If you're not, you're not.
That's what I'm saying. What the NIL is for. So if you're that good,
the NIL, at least my understanding is, they have a set amount.
No, that's not an NIL.
They just changed the rule.
That's not an NIL. An NIL is your name, image, and likeness. That's negotiating you. What we're talking about is the collective of what the school is paying players. This is what Dion is saying. I don't sit down with players and negotiate money. That is them coming from the collective. The collective is what people are going out to ask businesses to donate money to.
I said it on the wrong side. I said it on the wrong side, but yeah, I got you.
So what I'm saying is, if everybody off of the collective, everybody's paid the same.
That's my understanding. Collective, they just made that rule where they have a cap and everyone is going to make the same. But the NIL, your name, image, and likeness, you're going to be able to make more based on essentially your productivity or your marketability and all that. But the rule has just been changed where the NIL is like a flat rate and everybody's going to get the same. But
you mean the collective?
That's still, or the collective, whatever. That's not. That's not going to have any impact on the overall, the big deal, because the big deal is people are coming in and they're going to want more money. And the big name players, like I said, why the 4 and the 5 stars matter, those are the people that's going to be asking money, and they're going to get it.
But so you're right about why the 4 and 5 stars matters only in the negotiation of your collective money coming in as a freshman. After you get there and you don't live up to the hype, you can no longer talk about being a 4 or 5 star, because don't nobody care no more. If you're not playing and you're not getting the job done on the field or the court, you being a 4 or 5 star as a that you came in as a freshman and you was a 5 star, but as a junior you have failed to. In basketball, you only averaged 3 points a game for 2 years. You ain't about to keep talking to me about that you was a 5 star. Don't nobody care. That 5 star goes out the door as soon as that freshman year starts, when it comes down to your productivity. So now, if I got a transfer that can come in from a mid-major, a small major, and he averaged 17, 18 points a game, and you giving me 5, you and your 5 star can sit your ass on that bench, because don't nobody care about that.
But this is the only reason I brought that up is because it was fresh in the conversation that we had. When you have a 5 star, in the context of what we were talking about, a guy that, like the 5 star that's on the bench at at he's a quarterback. He's a 5-star. He's not starting, and he's behind someone that is like a 2 or 3-star quarterback. And the 5-star hasn't gotten the reps that people can see. Like, he hasn't got an opportunity to play. That's all I'm saying. If he's not getting those reps, that 5-star does matter, and he'll be. That's why I said he'll be in the transfer portal if he's not getting those. If he's not starting by like week 4, because he's a 5-star.
And again, if he's not getting it done, because that's why you're not getting the reps. Nobody cares about that, and that's why you're seeing a carousel of 5-stars going to this school, that school, that school, this school, this school. It don't matter. Just like we watched the boy at Houston last week against Colorado. He was a 5-star that lost his position to, and he went in and he was playing, and his position got taken by a kid that was not a 5-star, and who's still playing at Texas A&M and who transferred to Houston. It matters until it's time to be on the field. And if you're not producing on the field, it doesn't matter. At some point in time, you got to produce.
I'm not saying that you don't have to produce, because it's a performance-based industry, but that stuff matters. And if he's not playing, and especially with everybody, like I said, I watched the game last week. Everybody is saying, what's up with, I guess his name is Juju. They're like, why isn't he playing? And as long as he's not playing, they're not going to say what's wrong with Juju. They're going to say what's wrong with the coaching staff not playing this kid, because you must have felt like he was evidently a good or a quality player because you recruited him.
Did you see the game?
Now, if you want to get out and say that he's not that good, that's okay. I'm not saying that he's good or if he's bad, but those stars, it means something. And unless you let him crash and burn, especially when you don't have another 4 or 5-star on your roster, that means a lot.
And as a coach, it says a lot about you as a coach if you let a kid crash and burn.
Not if you don't have nothing, quote unquote, on your roster. He doesn't have another 5-star on his roster, Reem. That's all I said from the beginning.
But he can redshirt. He can redshirt him because he's not ready to play, and groom him to be ready to play the next year. He's a 17-year-old kid, so he can be groomed so that he doesn't crash and burn, and now your whole career is done and over with. And I can groom you and say, or if you got people in your ear, because that's another thing that is the problem, is the camps. It's what's coming from the camps and what's putting in people's ear, because people are trying to tell these kids, oh, you need everything right now. If you're not ready for it, there's nothing wrong with sitting and waiting, redshirting and waiting, so that you can be more of a problem, more that you will be successful. And as a coach, it's my job to help you be successful, not only on the field, but off the field. It's my job to help you. So if sitting you as a freshman because you're not ready, because Juju did not look ready in that game that he went in.
No.
He looked like a scared.
I'm not saying he's not ready, but if he's not redshirting, but
I said,
if you don't redshirt him and you have him waste a year of eligibility sitting behind a 2-star, he'll be in the transfer portal before the end of the 6th or 7th week. That's all I said from the beginning. You're not going to sit a 5-star behind a 2-star athlete. That just don't happen.
Exactly. He'd be waiting somewhere else. But this is the thing. Understand the rules of college ball on how a red shirt goes. That boy can play in 4 games. It's how many games? 12 in a season, right? He can play in 4 games and the postseason games and still be redshirted. So you not playing right now, maybe I'm picking and choosing of where I try to get you in to utilize your 4 games still to redshirt you. So you don't waste the season. If you sit the whole season and you don't play, you ain't wasted the season, because I'm still gonna redshirt you.
If you get redshirted, can you come out after your second year? So like let's say you get redshirted, then you play your first year, your second year. Can you come out after that, or do you got to still play another?
You can come out, but the thing is, when you are, I don't think you understand. When you are sitting behind someone, you're still being assessed, and that don't look good on a kid that's he's a 5-star and he's sitting behind a 2-star athlete.
Like Archie Manning,
So
like Arch
Archie
Manning.
Manning, he didn't sit behind a 2-star. He sat behind the number one prospect that came out of high school when he was
that transfer
and
that sent somewhere else, right? That he sent somewhere else and then transfer.
and he didn't. He did not sit behind a 2-star. That's what I said from the beginning.
Sitting is sitting. If you're not ready to play, you ain't ready to play.
No,
red shirting is sitting. Well, I'm sitting you when I red shirt you. Like you said, what? When I sit you, when you're red shirted, you're being set. That is the definition of red shirt. Please look up what the definition is and why they red shirt. If it's not a medical red shirt, you're being set because you're not ready for college sports, whether it's on the field or off the field or whatever. You're being red shirted for that reason, and that's ultimately being set.
Right, but there's a difference. If you're saying, okay, if you say he's not ready, he's not ready. But this is my point. It looks a lot different when you're a 5-star and they decide on a 2-star athlete. When you say when Arch Manning or Quinn Ewers couldn't beat out the guy at Old State, well, guess what? The guy that he couldn't beat out was another 5-star. It's a difference when you can't beat out a 5-star versus you can't beat out a 2-star.
What's the difference?
That reflects. You said, what's the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference? Because
that reflects very negatively.
Are we talking about? Are we comparing two freshmen as being one being a 5-star, one being a 2-star? Or are we talking about you got a junior that was a 2-star who's been around in college for 2 years, maybe been redshirted, so he maybe been around 3 years? That is a complete difference than you talking about 5-star. So now you look bad because you're sitting around somebody who's been playing in college ball and playing well. They're proving that they can play at the college level. You haven't. So just because you're a 5-star and you have to wait for them, just like your boy at Ohio State, who's starting now saying he sat behind the 2-star last year when they won the national championship. He sat. He was red-shirted, but he played in 4 games, and then he played in the postseason games. So he ultimately played in 6 college games, but was still red-shirted, and now had to compete for the starting job this year.
But going in, there was an understanding that he was going to be red-shirted, Reem. They never was going to jeopardize him being red-shirted, and that's the difference. I don't think that you're grasping that. Like going in, they knew this thing was going to be red-shirted.
So he sat. He sat behind a 2-star.
Okay.
Which you just said don't happen. Well, it don't matter if you knew going in you was going to be red-shirted or not. He still played. He even played in the national championship game.
According to you, for me, and what I'm saying is, it's a difference if you are sitting and you are eligible to play, and you are losing a year of eligibility versus.
Well, that doesn't happen no more. So that doesn't even happen no more. Nobody is sitting when you have they're not going to sit you, and then you got the games. Because you can play, we just talked about the rules. You can play in up to 4 games and still be redshirted. Nobody's going to sit you and you play in no games and then just chalk up your eligibility. They're going to redshirt you.
Hold on, Rain. Like I said, so clearly there's a difference. You're making my point. You're not going to
no, I'm not.
And lose. You're not going to sit and lose a year of eligibility. Sitting behind someone, and that if that's the case, it has nothing to do with your level of readiness. All they're saying is you're not going to lose a year of eligibility.
Nobody is doing that, and they haven't done that. They red shirt you. That's the purpose of a red shirt.
Okay.
So you keep talking about a 5-star about to sit and just lose a year of eligibility. That's not going to happen. That is the purpose of the red shirt.
Okay. The reason, let me tell you something. The reason why, when we talk about red shirt, the reason why I told you about the Mike Vick situation is because I already knew the answer to that thing. What you said was in need of development. The reason why he was red-shirted is because before he stepped foot on Blacksburg's campus, his high school coach had got a verbal commitment from Frank Beamer that he was going to redshirt him regardless, because he knew the moment that Mike Vick stepped on campus, he was going to be the best quarterback that they had at Vatech. His high school coach wanted him to get acclimated to college. It had nothing to do with him being ready. And like, according to you, if you're getting redshirted, it's only because you're not ready. You can look it up. Everybody, when he got on campus, they were saying Mike Vick should be starting his true freshman year. It had nothing to do with him being ready.
If somebody is that ready, and it does have something to do with being ready, because evidently his high school coach knew something. And what I just stated was, whether it's on the field or off the field, they will redshirt you. So you can make all the faces you want. They will if you're not ready to be able to handle the responsibilities of being an athlete and academics, we will redshirt you. So that means that you're not ready. You're not ready for college athletics. You don't know. His high school coach said that for a reason. It was a reason why he wanted him to be redshirted. It's something that he knew Mike Vick needed. He might have been the best talent, but he wasn't the best and ready. So now we're going to redshirt you for a reason, to develop you. Development means more than just player. It means as a person. It means as a student. It means it's everything to help you get acclimated so that you are successful all the way around the board as a college athlete. So that's what the redshirt year is used for.
And how do you measure that then, Ring? When he got to the NFL, he himself said he couldn't read defense. So how much development was going on? He said he couldn't read defenses. It had nothing to do with what we're talking about. He was the best quarterback that they had.
Let you tell her he wasn't the best quarterback when he went to Philadelphia. When he went to Philadelphia, you said he wasn't the best quarterback. That's what you said the last time we talked about it. But hold on, let's move on, because we've been on football.
He wasn't. He was ready to play. He was ready to play. He was ready to play. So yeah, he wasn't the best quarterback. He wasn't better than Donovan McNabb when he got to Philly. No, he wasn't better than Donovan McNabb.
Let's have a recap on the fight this week. Did y'all watch the fight this weekend?
Yeah.
What was y'all take on the fight?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I didn't even know.
Why didn't you not watch the fight?
Told you, bro. That stuff is barbaric. It's crazy. It's crazy. And Mike Vick, speaking of him, he gets in trouble for letting dogs fight each other.
What?
You want to talk to me about human beings fighting each other or money?
So, Bone, when you looked at the fight, what was your take on the Canelo Crawford fight?
He was outclassed. It was the master. I mean, he was able to dominate in a way that I don't think anybody was expecting. He had a game plan that looked like he carried it out.
Did he knock him down?
I was worried that
did he knock him down?
Canelo was going to be bigger than him.
No, he didn't knock him down.
He didn't knock. Did anybody get knocked down?
I don't think he never hurt him.
Canelo never got hurt.
No, he didn't hurt Canelo. Canelo is known for his chin, and Canelo is a naturally bigger dude than Bud.
Y'all like watching the art of somebody just being able to just box and boom, 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 just hit and punch.
That's what Saturday was. It was a classic example of a boxer beating a fighter, and Canelo wasn't ready for the boxing skills that Bud Crawford came with. He touched him, hit him, moved, made sure he didn't get hit, and made sure he didn't get hit with big shots. I think there was a few punches in there that hurt Canelo. Now he didn't put him on the ground or knock him down like that. But Canelo knew he got hit with some shots. And that's what made Canelo be a little hesitant on trying to throw some of them bombs that he's normally known to throw, because he kept getting touched quick because Bud's speed and stuff like that. And when he kept getting touched, he had to back off like, oh, no, I ain't trying to throw that, because he missed with some counters and that type of stuff. And he got hit. He got hit hard quite a few times. And I think so. I think he knew that, and he did get outclassed. It was, but the funny thing is now that you have a lot of. I didn't think the scorecards was as close as what they were, but now you have some people trying to say it was a conspiracy, and they felt that Canelo actually won the fight.
I haven't heard nobody say that. It's no, I don't. I
Oh,
couldn't think that if you watch
been some
that
things,
fight from beginning to end, you can think that Canelo won that fight.
and that's what I said also. But it's been things
Canelo got
throughout
dominated.
throughout the sports world with some of those.
Zay is in the building, man.
And Canelo, I think Canelo knew he got dominated. You could tell by his reaction. He didn't act like he was a fighter who thought he won the fight. I think he knew he lost that fight.
I think if both of them, if you listen to the post-fight comments, they both respected one another, and I think that's one of the reasons why Bud, when it was all said and done, he hand delivered his belts back to Canelo, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that you get your own personal belts because I didn't know that till this particular fight that you get.
You gotta buy your
own
belt.
Personalized belts.
And somebody
buy,
and they can't take that from you. You always keep your belt.
So Canelo's belts are Canelo's belts. He just doesn't have those titles anymore. But Canelo said that he feels like Bud was a better fighter than Mayweather. He said that he felt like
y'all know that. I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but the belt represents the belt that you beat somebody's ass with that the champion carries.
I don't know if it really means that, bro.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
I think you just made that up.
Oh, I've been thought that is what that means, though. That's why the belt is represented for the fighters. Wrestling.
Who told you that?
And so why is the belt what somebody has?
It's the
because
prize.
that's what you beat somebody's ass with.
It's a trophy.
It's a belt.
Who told you that a belt meant you beat somebody with the belt that you got?
I thought of this idea myself, but I bet you if we research it, nobody has ever told me that.
You just admitted that you did not. You don't have any evidence behind it.
So y'all don't think that that's at least an interesting observation to see if that's where it comes from? Y'all don't care about that. Y'all are like really...
You really thought that
shallow, man.
No, that's just ridiculous.
So you don't think that the belt? So you don't think that there's no symbolism in the belt being the type of trophy? Are you looking it up, cuz?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
What's it say? What's it say?
What's it say? Boxing championship belts originated in 1810 when King George III awarded the first official belt to Tom Cribb after his bare knuckle victory over Tom Molinex, making the beginning of a tradition that evolved from a simple leather strap to the elaborate symbols of victory seen today. These belts transformed from a specific royal award into a standard prize for championships as professional boxing, organized with modern sanctioning bodies like the WBA and WBC establishing their own unique designs for championship belts. So, no, it wasn't designed to represent as somebody being beat.
It definitely.
I mean, the mere fact that you even thought
it means that, bro.
It does not.
So
mean
you don't
and
think
you still ride with it.
Will said
don't beat each other's ass though, and you don't use the belt to spank and whip the whipping. The belt, oh my God, bro. Y'all put it. Am I tripping? Put it in the comments.
You are tripping. Don't put it in nothing, man. Don't
put it in the comments if anybody can even understand what I mean. That's
nobody's agreeing with that one. I think you might need to change your glasses, right?
Why would you think that, bro?
You might need to change. Let's change your glasses.
Let me get serious with y'all one time. Hold on, listen, bro. Listen, seriously. I can't believe that y'all don't see the symbolism in that whatsoever. And for y'all to just dismiss it like it makes no sense or no reasoning why
So
this could stand for that.
what's the
It's crazy to
symbolism?
me.
Because please tell us what the symbolism is as to what it's a what like
Because I think
at the
that
beginning.
a belt and a lash and a whip are all symbolism of beating, of authority, of winning, of beating. The champion got the belt. The champion got the belt. Why? Because that's what he beats with. And to me, I thought that would seem like it was.
Hey man, we
That was
gonna
why
stop
it
you
was,
before
but
you
maybe
go too
not.
far down this rabbit hole, man. Don't
Yeah, I
do
think
that.
I mean,
Don't do
go
that.
to the other glasses there. Go to the other glasses. So because though in the early days, those were I don't know if you was kind of making it to a symbolism of like with slavery beating or something like that. I'm not sure because in the early days of what you call barbaric, those was white fighters fighting each other. So I'm not
No, I'm not
sure.
saying slave. No, it has nothing to do with race. This don't have nothing to do with race. It don't have nothing to do with slavery. I'm talking about to whoop. You like, man, you whooped his ass. You beat his ass. Okay,
But I don't
so
understand where
why
the
do somebody
belt
hold on? Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Wait a minute. I think I'm walking somewhere. Why do you say somebody beat somebody's ass? Why? Why are you saying you beat their ass? Is
in
that
a
a
fight?
wait a minute?
In
That's
a
not a
fight?
figure of speech. Is that a figure of speech? When you
That
whoop
don't mean you had
somebody,
a belt though.
I'm trying to see
okay.
where you get
But
the
what are
connection to the
athletes
belt.
notoriously known for being whooped with? If somebody said he got a beating, what would they normally get a beating with?
No.
So
But if you get into a fight,
If somebody got no. I'm talking about a child. You know, when you are using this belt, it's for whooping, it's for authority, it's the belt to whoop. You say he
but
beat his ass because you beat their ass like you do a child. That's why you say that. Like
that's
but you don't
how
get
do
the
you beat
belt.
a child? You beat their
I'm
ass.
going.
You
I'm
whoop them
going
on
to
their butt.
entertain this because it
And
seems like you really want to go down this road, but you don't get the belt until after the fact.
yeah, because you are the champion of all champions. You're the fighter of all fighters.
But you get the belt
The
after the
champion
fact.
holds the belt.
How do you
That
level
means
that
he
out?
beats the most ass. Huh?
so that phrase is used in other sports also. So it could be that all right. So that you got a wide receiver and a
It's
cornerback,
not
and
sports,
and when
it's not sports
yes it
because we
is.
talking
No,
about fighting. We talking about fighting and boxing
you
as
but
different
you
that holds the belt for
I can't do
beating
this.
ass. Is more violent. It's not. It's
but you
not
said
the same.
we was going off the terminology of beating ass. And why do you use that terminology? Well, that terminology is used in many different things, in many different sports. So if you go out there and on a basketball court and you get somebody 30, yeah, man, I'll beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the terminology.
And it's still rooted from the actual real ass beating of when a parent whoops a child for punishment.
How did we get
That's
to parents whooping a child in a punishment?
Because when is an ass literally get whooped? I'm asking, when does somebody literally get their ass whooped? I'm talking about in the literal sense. When a parent is reprimanding a child, that's the answer. Okay, so from whooping ass to beating ass, this stuff is stemming from beating with something, and you beat with the belt. And the biggest beater is the champion. He beats the most. That's why he gets the belt as the symbolism, the symbolic thing as the champion.
Do you really?
If nobody didn't know that,
and
just say that you learned it from me, and I'll make it up and make it connect the dots for all humanity if y'all didn't figure it out. But that's when the bare knuckle brawler in England, when he gave somebody a belt, the king or whatever, he said, because you beat his ass, you take the belt. This is your champion. This is your trophy. The belt.
This is your king.
You whoop ass. You whooped his ass. You beat his ass.
Take the belt.
take the belt.
So,
The fighters do pay sanction fees.
Oh my God.
Like,
next thing, briefly, the WNBA playoffs have started. Y'all, either one of y'all following that and watching what's going on in the WNBA?
no, I haven't got a
Absolutely
chance to. Is there anybody that we know that's actually playing in any of the games? Hold on, how about Coach O'Neill's niece? How's she doing?
Bree,
Yeah.
they play, Indiana Fever won earlier today. They
Oh,
did.
are they going? Will she make the playoffs? That's who I'm going for.
They're in the playoffs, bro.
Yeah, they're already in the playoffs. The playoffs are going on today. This was the second game.
Atlanta, they've already played a game. Atlanta is up 1-0 over Indiana.
No,
but I think
it's tied. Indiana won tonight. Yeah, they won tonight.
So is Bree playing?
She should be if she's on the roster. I didn't see the game tonight to see. Well, I saw a little bit of it, and they blew them out tonight. So they blew Atlanta out. Right now, Seattle and Las Vegas is playing, and it looks like Las Vegas is up. They're already up 1-0 in the series, and they winning right now. So just said that. What was y'all take? Y'all been watching it, and are y'all fans of the WNBA?
Not necessarily. I have to be honest, man. I watch football. It's hard to make time for WNBA while NFL and NCAA football is on. I'll try to catch it every once in a while, but in all honesty, I'm not going to watch much WNBA basketball while you got NFL and NCAA football going on. It's just a bad look.
I think Caitlin Clark has made the media inject a little bit of interest into the WNBA a little bit more. But just from
She's
us
out for the season.
For us having Los Knox as
Caitlin
our
Clark
brother.
ain't playing right now.
I know, but I'm just saying my reasons for why I am interested in women's basketball a little bit more, because like I said, Los Knox is coaching Notre Dame. So of course, and I went to a game, me and O went to, and Remy G. We went to a game, and it was so cool. So I want to follow the kids that was out there balling. So yeah, I want to see the WNBA be lit, Right now, no. But if like for the championship, if it was a game 7 or something like that, I'm watching for sure. Championship game 7, I'm watching.
What if it was a game 5? What if it was a game 5?
Game 5.
Because
Los Knox coaching?
They only had they played the best.
No. Los wouldn't be coaching because that is college. We're talking
I know
WNBA.
that. I'm just saying
but you said a game 5. They don't do that in college.
So
talking about if Los Knox was an NBA coach, that would be watching the game 5.
Well, at one point in time, he was.
Otherwise, you're not going to watch it.
Otherwise, he's coaching college. He was
the coach for the Fever for a season. So
Los was 1 year away from coaching Caitlin Clark. That would have been so lit.
Now, I see an interesting comment in the comments that Will said he'd rather watch dogs jump over obstacles than the WNBA.
Right.
Damn.
So is that what y'all willing to watch that also, rather than the WNBA?
Look at this. This is so. This is bad, dude. Hold on. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at Will. TJ asked the editor. I am the editor, Will. Okay. Using that party as a matter
Bro, you
of fact,
can't be letting fam just go at you like this, man. You gotta bounce back.
I think I did very well, man. I thought with that. I think y'all did not.
Okay, it was a very interesting viewpoint. That I must say that was a very interesting.
Now I'm on a quest. I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna research it because whatever you looked up, because that wasn't a detailed enough description of what's going on.
That was where did the belts come from? As far as how did they start coming out, giving out belts as
No,
far
I
as
don't.
the boxing championships?
You really shouldn't go back down that road, bro.
All right, I'll
It's
leave
not
it.
a good.
Give me some for shits and giggles, then. Give me
All
something
right.
good, Bone. And to go, I want Bone to go first, so he can't
Pick
do it.
I'm
out
always
anybody.
picking. I'm
Twist
always
the
gonna pick
stupid
that.
trick.
Yeah, so it's on Bone today first.
Y'all gonna be. Let me see. Today is the 16th.
Mhm, I cannot wait. Thank you. Let me put on my
What
notes.
can you not wait for?
This epic fail of your for shits and giggles.
It'll never be. It's not. Hey, it's all giggles for me, man. This is a wonderful week. I will be saying the same
Exactly.
thing. Hold on. I'll be saying the same thing for Thursday as I said for today. This is the 16th, and on the 20th, I'll be celebrating more than 2 decades of marital bliss with my queen.
She must be in the room. I see the way you look.
She's not in here. I really can't tell where she at, but you know what I'm saying. I'm excited. What's in store for us both, and we'll be hitting the friendly skies, going out to Vegas for the weekend just to get away for the anniversary. So I'm looking forward to it. So it's all
when is
giggles
your
over on the
anniversary?
side.
When is your anniversary?
The 20th.
Huh? 20th. Oh, okay.
20th. What day is that? That's what? Saturday?
Saturday. Yep.
All right.
We'll
Well,
be
happy
taking off on
anniversary.
Friday.
Happy early anniversary.
Happy anniversary to y'all.
That's amazing,
Yeah.
bro.
So now
Honestly,
you thought you was
really,
paying me.
really
You
good,
thought you was.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? You unleashing me. You know what I mean?
Right, but you
The
actually
epic
did
fail.
I thought, and I spoke too soon because you actually did the opposite of fail. You succeeded, basically. You did great. You did great, actually.
Mm-hmm. Some
Man,
of that. But yeah, let me say that again. Over 20 plus years of marital bliss. Me and my queen, we are going to have us such a great time enjoying one another. We got a couple people coming out from the 937 to enjoy with us. The Porters, the Brunos. We about to have a good old time, so it's a great deal. So yeah.
That's what's up. Y'all have a good time out there in Vegas and do y'all thing. Don't get too many edibles.
See what I'm saying?
Remember, I watched all of you guys in your development stage. Just look at that.
Oh, what? All right, Cuzzo, what's your for shits and giggles?
I'm gonna have to piggyback on what Bone said.
You can't do that. You can't. You can't.
I literally can't in this one. But you know, kind of like on the opposite end of the spectrum. You know, I don't got nobody right now. You know, I don't go through my phone, try to see somebody come over.
Hey man, don't do it. Don't do it. To reconsider.
Now, that's what I gotta do. You know, me and my girl, we gonna go to this place in Miamisburg. It's the Indian Mound. For 2,000 years old. This bitch right here under our nose the whole time. Me and her are gonna do that on our second date. We lit.
Flat out.
All right, come on, Remy G. What's yours, bro? What you got?
Man, mine will be on the giggle side too. That I'm looking forward to. My grandniece should be born within the next sometime in the next month. So I'm excited about having the second one, and just so that's something I'm just extremely excited about. Waiting to see her come, and waiting to see, for her to get here and see how Karima Alia's personality is going to be. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to thank my niece Anaya Delon for thinking enough of me to want to name your baby Karima Alia. You know what I'm saying? That's such a blessing and an honor, and I just want to thank her so much for that. That's truly a blessing.
Karima Alia. Come on, man.
And I can't wait for her to see this.
That's
Oh,
gonna be
Peaches,
so
make
cool.
sure you see this.
Is that, man? Wait a minute. Is this a true story, man? Is she really gonna name the baby Karima Alia?
No.
Hey, that's the name of
He's
the
not.
podcast is for shits and giggles, right?
I didn't want to say nothing. I was wondering when you were gonna pick up on it, bro.
It's crazy. I thought you was.
That's why I was
Hey,
being quiet, man. I'm like, you don't understand.
She ain't gonna do that. But I was thinking like maybe he ain't saying it good enough or something. Man, that is so.
So would you be disappointed if you had a child named that?
Huh?
Would you be disappointed if you had a child named that?
My name is Ahava. Okay. But you know what I do? I do judge people's names a lot now. And somebody got a name I don't know, I always get all like, I get kind of like, I don't like, what kind of name is that? I say that to people. What kind of name is that? Huh? It's the most hypocritical. I'm very hypocritical when I judge names. That Karima Alia name, I judged it.
What was your judgment?
I don't
tell me what were you thinking? What were you thinking when you heard it?
I don't like this.
So you hating? Cause you hating that's the name of greatness right there.
I hate all names, any name. So I
really thought that name was popping too.
Hey, that's a beautiful name, and Peaches should have definitely named her baby that. But she decided to go in other directions.
Y'all are special,
you were saying it because your timing was off just a little bit, and so it was really, the name was sounding like Karima Alia. I'm like, is he saying it right?
Karima Ali.
And he was lying about it. That's the funny.
I thought you were picking up immediately when he said it. That's why I was like, I know.
Karima Ali, Karima Alia. Yeah, I know you had to get that, cause Karima Ali.
No, I knew she was named it. I knew that, but I was thinking like she must really love you. Ring. You are such a great dude, bro. Like somebody would probably name their child after.
All right. Man, cuz go ahead and take us up out of here, man.
All right, y'all, man. Of course, we love everybody. We're going to be back here on Thursday. If you're still in here, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button so you can get alerted every time that we drop. We'll be back on at 9 o'clock on Thursday. We're going to watch some of the game with you, chop it up, and then we'll have our predictions for week 3. So Bone is in first place. I'm in second place. And I'm probably in first place because y'all didn't give me my first week's stuff. So me and Bone are tied. Basically, me and Bone are tied for first place.
No, we're not.
Remy is in second place. So next Thursday, we will pick to see who will be legitimately in first place after week 3. Right now, it's a tie.
We all had a week. We just don't have a week.
I'm clearly ahead by
the show. Thank you all for watching the show. Goodbye. It's a tie.